Hey guys, we've got another microphone here going around for questions. Start up here in the front row. Go ahead, sir.
Caitlin Chennedy, WUSA 9. I just finished a live shot with a 10-year-old young lady named Jane who said, I went last night. I'm a Mystics fan, but she had an Indiana Fever shirt on today. And I said, why? And she says, I just love Caitlin Clark. So have you had any moments to take in what you and the fellow young stars are doing to this game as it hits you yet?
Man, honestly, it's definitely been a whirlwind over the course of the last few months, and even throughout my senior season in college too. I try to take it in the best I can. I mean, I think that's something that never really gets old for myself is, seeing the young girls with your jersey on, or with Indiana Fever gear on. Um, for me, like I was just them, so I understand that feeling and how, coming to one basketball game can, help you like achieve your lifelong goals or I don't know, just be one of the best memories of your childhood. So those are the moments that are definitely like some of the coolest for myself, getting to play basketball at the highest level. And you never take those interactions for granted. And I think even though, we're 2-9, people are still coming and they're still excited. They're still excited about the young talent that we have on our team. And, you see it across the board in the W. Like we go on the road and the fans are there supporting, whether, we were in New York or whether we were in LA. Like you can just go across the board and there's been just really great crowds.
Stay on the front row on the left.
Caitlin, Gerardo Lopez from Cultura Sports in Puerto Rico. First of all, congratulations on all the great success. Well deserved, and we applaud you in Puerto Rico. Decompressing, yesterday, were you able to watch the NBA Finals? And obviously, Indiana Pacers are not in it. Are you rooting for somebody in particular?
To be honest, I had the Women's Softball College World Series on instead. It was a little bit better of a game, but when then I flipped back to the NBA, I was flipping back and forth. One of my There's a girl that pitches for Texas who's a freshman who actually lived a couple streets over from me growing up. So I was rooting for the Texas Longhorns. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, but I think like that's even just like a great display of women's sports and where it's going. I've always been a fan of women's softball and women's sports across the board. So I was more so watching that. I mean, I am watching the finals. Obviously, I wish the Pacers were playing in. They were really close. Obviously, a few injuries bothered them, and the Celtics are obviously really good. So, yeah, but I'm just a fan of basketball. I have it on all the time, whether it's WNBA, whether it's NBA, whether it's a college game, but also just women's sports in general. So there.
Caitlin, got first row on your right here.
Hey, Caitlin, Chris Boombaka with USA Today. You mentioned the whirlwind of the last several months. How have you maintained your energy and fought fatigue, both physically and mentally?
Yeah, I think taking care of my body has been like the biggest thing over the course of the last month, whether it's getting proper sleep, eating right, physical therapy or getting treatment, massage therapy. Like you can just go down the list of things that you have to do to take care of your body as a professional athlete. I think that's been a little bit of adjustment. I'm not used to playing game, practice. Like it's just not really what you do in college. So I think it's been a little bit of an adjustment. But also I still feel like I have that young energy in me. So I feel like it hasn't been hard for me to like wake up and want to play basketball. I think the back-to-backs have been the biggest adjustment for myself. Obviously, you know, we were dealt a first back-to-back of the Las Vegas Aces and then the New York Liberty. So that was a tough hand to get, but I think it's just a good moment of a learning opportunity of how to take care of your body, how to mentally prep, how to prep and watch film. Those are tough ones. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just a learning period. You're trying to figure out your routines of, navigating professional basketball. And I think that's just been something I'm still trying to navigate and figure out too.
Caitlin, third row on your right on the aisle. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, Caitlin, on Sunday you exited due to ear pain, and then the other day you were saying that it was fine and it was okay. Did you ever get a reason? Was there ever an explanation for why that ear pain's happening?
Honestly, I don't really know. I don't want to explain it. It'd probably be pretty gross. But no, I feel fine. I can't hear great out of one of my ears, but it'll definitely come back.
Caitlin, I got third row back here on the right, then we'll stay on third row.
Hi, Caitlin. Welcome to Washington and congrats on all of your success. I was wondering if you think, now that foul was upgraded to a flagrant foul, if you think Kennedy Carter owes you an apology, a public apology of some sort after what happened?
No. I mean, basketball is competitive. I get it. Sometimes your emotions get the best of you. Happened to me multiple times throughout the course of my career. People are competitive. It is what it is. And she's having a tremendous season. She's played great basketball in my eyes, probably in first place for sixth player of the year. She's been great off the bench for them. I think she had 25 here last night and really helped them win the game. So no, and that's just not where my focus is. That's not what I think about on a day-to-day basis. I think about my team. I think about ways that I can get better. It's just basketball at the end of the day. There's no grudges. There's nothing like that. It's a sport. It's competitive. It's not going to be nice all the time. That's not what basketball is. And I think people that play that at the highest level understand that.
Okay, we're going to stay back right. We're going to go down the line here.
Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. The Rookie of the Month award, congratulations. And we saw the statistics that came with it. Is that level of production where you thought you'd be by now? How long did you think it would take you to get up to that level where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've played some good games, and I felt I've played some games where it's like, and I think that's just like the learning curve. Like that's just the adjustment period. I think, I probably haven't shot the ball as well as I would have liked. But I feel like I've gotten some good shots, some good looks. And, as a shooter, that's sometimes just what happens. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. I think I've passed the ball really well. I think our chemistry is still coming along in areas of connecting and always finishing those or catching them, or me helping my teammates be in the right place at the right time. And I think I've honestly rebounded the ball pretty well. Like I'm pretty undersized. I like to get it off the glass and push. And I think I've done a good job of that too. So overall, I think I've done some really good things. I think there's always areas to improve. I think I've had some glimpses of good defense. I think there's other areas where, my defense can still get better. And there's a lot of things that we do within our system that are just a lot different than what I did in college. So I'm still trying to learn and understand that and kind of break some habits that I had and implement new habits. So, but overall, I mean, I think, I've played good basketball. I've played good floor games. And, more shots will continue to go down. And, once the game slows down for me a little bit, I think the turnovers numbers will go down as well.
Stay in the back right with Kareem.
Hey, Caitlin, Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. You just kind of talked a lot about the physical. I want to ask a little bit about the mental. You didn't lose many games the last 4 years. How have you stayed in a good mental space as you have a young, growing team where it's not necessarily everything's going to show up in the wins and losses column? So how have you stayed in a good space?
Yeah, it's obviously, an adjustment. If you're the number one pick, you're usually going to a team that probably didn't have the greatest year the year before. And, we're just trying to learn and grow and find ways to be successful. We're the most inexperienced team in this league. And, in this league, experience is really everything. It helps a great amount. And, when we're trying to navigate that, obviously me and AB, like, we're only in our first and second years. Liz is in her third year. Wally's in her third year. Like it can just be tough at times. You don't always have the experience. And, but I think one of the biggest positives I would say over the course of these first 11 games is like the energy about this group. Like it's the same exact way as when we played our first game. There's a positive attitude every single day that we show up. We truly believe every single game that we're going into, we're going to win. And I think at times that could probably be challenging losing, 9 games this early in the year. But I think that just shows the excitement about this team, but also an understanding of like, we're young, we're going to get better game by game. I think if you look at the first game we played and you look at the last game we played, like there's just so much growth already in what we've been able to do. And now that we've had a couple of practices, hopefully it only continues to get better and continue to grow. But I don't think that's really been a problem for us, getting too down about, losing games.
You got time for 2 more to finish up in the back. We'll end with Christy there.
Dan Sostek here with Penn Live in Harrisburg. Harrisburg's the hometown of Alyssa Thomas. You've got to play her once already. I know you're a guard. She's more of a forward, but just wondering if you grew up watching Alyssa at all and what makes her so special. Obviously, she's coming off such a great month. Is she a player you've watched growing up?
Yeah, I think the thing about her is she does absolutely everything on the court that you could do as a basketball player. She just impacts the game in every area, whether it's on the defensive end, whether it's on the offensive end. Great passer, great rebounder. she's just a matchup problem. Like, what do you do? Somebody gets the ball off the defensive glass and pushes in transition. That's somebody that can create for her teammates, can score for herself, is really physical, is strong. She just presents so many problems. One of the best players our league has seen. So, it was definitely an experience getting to play my first WNBA game against her. You get to see firsthand how really, really great she is and how she reads the game of basketball. Her IQ is through the roof. And it's fun to be a part of. It's fun that I'll be able to say I got to play her and in my first WNBA basketball game.
Finish up with Christy in the back right.
Hey.
Hi. Christy Winter-Scott, Monumental Sports Network, tonight, Ion. What do you feel the biggest challenge will be tonight facing the Mystics?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team. You look at their games and they have been in just about every single game. And obviously their record doesn't reflect, how good they are and the talent they have and the way they played basketball this season. So I think, understand this is a really good basketball team you're coming in here to play. And I think that just shows how good the W is. Like, it's really hard to win games in this league because there's so much talent. But also, like, you got to execute late games. So, they're not going to shy away from us. We're not going to shy away from them. I expect it to be a really great game, but they're very talented in all 5 positions. So we're definitely going to have to guard. And I think we can push the ball in transition too. So, yeah, I think those are the biggest things.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.